Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in the United States. I am Nancy Hetker. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And I am going to make a card for you today. And I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to do. I'm taking part in a what's it called? Challenge isn't the right word. Well, maybe a challenge is the right word. It's called Casing Tuesday. I've done this and posted them on my blog before, but I'm going to do one live for you today. And what demonstrator in the U.S., Brenda Quintana, does is she chooses an image out of one of the catalogs, and we're instructed to case it. And case, for anyone who doesn't know, means copy and, well, there's different words for it, but one is, the one I first learned was copy and steal everything. And then Shelley, co-founder of Stampin' Up!, wanted to make it sound nicer, so she calls it copy and share everything. And recently I've heard copy and selectively edit to make it your own, which I like. So anyhow, I'm going to be casing, and the challenge this week for Casing Tuesday is to case this image on page 12 of the mini catalog. So that's what I'm going to do. I actually need a birthday card for one of my customers, and I don't think she usually watches the video, so I feel pretty comfortable doing this. Good morning, Wendy. I see that you've joined me. Thank you. I own this stamp set, and I could use the flowers, but I've decided to try this celebration set, Thoughtful Blooms, once again. I did that for you guys a couple weeks ago, I think, but I got an idea to swap out this set instead. And yeah, so I'm going to keep this off to the side here to refer to a little bit. I'm basically using it as a sketch challenge. And I'm changing up the colors, and I'm changing up like the shape of the label a little bit, but you'll see as I go. So I've got a piece. I'm going to cut this down once I've finished stamping it. And let me grab a foam mat, actually. Since this set is photopolymer and it's got some solid images, you want to have that extra cushioning underneath, and I probably need to swap out my cover on it at some point here, but we'll start with that. And hi, Nikki from Arizona. I don't have any of these mounted up yet because I'm really making it up as I go along. I've got an idea of what I want to do. So on the picture in the catalog, again, I'm casing this layout, and changing up the stamp set and the sentiment, but keeping some of the elements. But I really liked how they had used the blue for the leaves, and so I'm going to do that too. And perhaps I'm using the same blue. I thought maybe they'd use Blueberry Bushel, but maybe it's Pacific Point, like what I've picked up here. And that's just such an interesting swirl, let's say, of flowers, or of leaves and stems. So I don't need to fill the entire thing, I don't think. Oops, that didn't get ink everywhere. Probably should turn it around a little bit, get a little variation. cleaning off this side of the stamp because I think I've decided I don't want that many stems and leaves right here. So I'm going to try to do this. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll keep building. And so the other colors I chose to use are Flirty Flamingo, Mango Melody, and Mint Macaron. And I'm going to bring this picture back in again briefly. Looks to me like they used probably Daffodil Delight, I'm going to say Blushing Bride, and Calypso Coral maybe. Oh, and there's some black there too. And we'll get some black elements in there as well. So I just changed it up a little bit. Definitely want some of these solid flowers. Yeah, it may be I hope you guys are getting a good feed. I can see that something funky is going on. Our internet has not been fantastic recently. I keep hearing through our neighborhood grapevine that they're upgrading something in the neighborhood. And I hope that's what it is, but I don't know. So again, for people who have just joined, like Karen, hello. I am playing along with Casing Tuesday, where each week they pick out a picture from one of the catalogs and have us use that as inspiration for a card. And this week it's page 12 of the mini catalog, and it's this card. So I've changed up the stamp set, and I have changed up the color scheme for the most part. And yeah, I knew I wanted to do both of those, and now I'm making up this as I go along, and hopefully it will work out to something that we think is good. I'm going to grab a piece of scrap. two, because I'm going to punch out a few flowers as well. Did you come back, Nikki? Did it help? So again, the colors I've chosen to use are Pacific Point for the leaves and vines, leaves and stems, Mango Melody, Flirty Flamingo, and Mint Macaron for the flowers. We're going to put a few little black elements in there as well in a minute. Just making some flowers to punch. My punch. And this set is Thoughtful Blooms, and it's out of the Celebration catalog, as is this coordinating punch. And it makes things pretty quick and easy. How is that for a neat trick? I don't think I could do that if I tried. We'll leave those to put on later. Now for something black, I think. Just a little bit. And what are we going to do? I think we're going to do these black speckles. Going to be covered up, but I'm going to stop there. See how we do. Oh, good. Nikki, it looks like you're back. Did that help, or is it still... On my picture, it's going out of focus and coming back in, and a little bit whirly sometimes, a little whirly signal. Like I said, my internet has not been great for about, well, since just before Christmas, but I feel like it's getting worse. So now I'm gonna along with everything else I'm doing, I'm gonna try to call my internet service provider and see what we can do. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to set that aside for right now, and I'm going to do the sentiment, and I'm going to emboss it on black. So I'm using my embossing buddy. Get a little bit of powder on there, wipe it around. And the sentiment I chose to use is actually out of the Lots of Happy card kit, which has been out a couple of years now, but I think it's still available, and it's a really cool set. The kit is really cool, and I do like pulling out the sentiments every once in a while too. This is Here's to the Happiest Birthday Yet. So get that inked up with Versamark and put on there. And bring in my embossing powder. It seems good now, I'm glad. Okay, so embossing powder. Oh my goodness, what is going on? I go back over with the brush, I really don't have much and it's gonna get cut out, so not too worried, but get off stray flecks with the brush. Oh, that just got more on there. There we go. And I have my heat tool here, so this is still, you know, what, 13 years later, 14 years later, magical. I think that's all of it. So, that's done. Get these out of the way. Bring in my Big Shot. Sorry, this is probably going to make things move. To cut this out, I'm going to use one of these Stitched So Sweetly dies, and they come bundled with the So Sentimental stamp set. Which I wound up liking more than I thought I would. I got it because it was a bundle, and when there's a bundle, I find if I don't buy it, I regret it. If I don't buy it as a bundle, I regret it. So I bought it as a bundle. I really wanted the dies. But I have used the coordinating stamp set, or it's not really coordinating, it's complementary in this case. But I do really like these dies. I've used these a lot, and I've used these some too. So. And I'm particularly pleased how that one turned out. So let me get rid of this. And we'll start looking at how this is going to come together. So, yeah. See where I wind up putting that. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is cut this down, because this is actually a quarter of a sheet of paper, and again, I'm using this as my inspiration for the sketch challenge, and you can see it's just as wide as the card, but it's cut narrower. So I'm gonna cut mine down, and I'm gonna use this handy dandy mini paper trimmer. I may wind up using it that way. Okay, so this is 10.5, but I'm working in metric. So where am I gonna want it? Let's start with that. Bring in my base and take a look at it. So I decided to use, at least to start, looking at Melon Mambo for my base. I hope it's working. Looks like maybe it's cut out. Yeah. I'm sorry if this goes away. I'll come back on if it's gone. Okay. Now it looks okay. somebody could say something so I know you're there, that would be helpful. Somebody there? I love that I can get just the tiniest slivers off on this. I mean, really tiny. Look at that. You're having to refresh? Yeah. I ask you to bear with it because I don't quite know what's going on. So I think I want it that way. I just keep checking what I think I want to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it this way. I had thought I was going to do it the other way, but I've changed my mind. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is add in this example card, they have these black scallop pieces, and those are actually from the Peaceful Poppy Elements, and I've decided I want to keep those. So I'm going to pull mine out of the pack here. There we go. And I'm hoping, what often happens with these is that they're sized really well for the US sizes. So I'm going to look and see. Yeah, I'm going to have to meld a couple together here. And these are pretty cool. They're black with black embossing on them. They seem to have frozen here. So, don't know how much of that you can actually see. But they're pretty cool. I just need to see what I need to do to get them to meld in a not so obvious way. Gonna grab a pair of paper snips. Should probably really do that on my trimmer here. There we go. So what I've done is I've trimmed it down to right at the scallop, and so I believe what I can do is overlap them and they will not be very obvious. Let's see if that proves to be true. Yeah. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my light basic black Stampin' Blends, because there's this little bit of a white edge right there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to very gently go right along that edge. And now it's even more camouflaged, which I think is a good thing. And I'm going to overlap it by 2 scallops because I have plenty of room to do so. Okay, so let's put a dab of glue on the back side here and line those up. Okay, and I'm just going to hold those in place for a moment. Whoops. I hope you guys are able to watch this. If it's bad, I am so sorry. You can always watch it on the replay because my phone is getting it without a problem, I believe. So there's that. And to add it on here, I'm going to do this little row of glue. Lining it up as best I can here. Get it straight. Good, I'm glad it seems better now. It's frozen for me, so I'm refreshing it this end. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, so there's that element on, and now I will just trim it. Again, love this trimmer for things like this. Because I just get it right up to that edge. I can feel that it's right up against that edge. And when I bring this down, it just right there with it. Okay. So that's going to wind up on there. And you really have to look to see that seam there. So I'm happy with that. And that's going to go on there. Okay, I'm going to get my baker's twine on here now. And again, I'm referring back to this picture that it's based on. Maybe I'll put these on first. I'm just figuring it out. This is how I create all the time. You're really getting a look into the creative process. Gonna see what you see here. I can't see anything. Oh my goodness. What's going on here, guys? I hope you guys can see something. This is really bad. Okay. Might need another flower there, but here we go. I'm going to grab the small ones. Big ones would work fine, but the small ones are better, so there we go. So I feel like I'm going 800 miles an hour and getting about 200 miles down the road in that hour, if you know what I mean. I have had, well, you know, I wasn't here last week because I had cousins in town, and I spent those days playing with them, and it was very fun. I enjoyed it, but it meant I missed our crafting time, and and then I taught a class on Saturday. I taught a class Thursday afternoon and another class on Saturday, different class, and then our family friend and my husband's co-author from Germany arrives tonight, and he'll be here quite a while, actually. So this is what I do when I'm wrapping twine most of the time. I just tape it onto the back and I wrap it the number of times I want. And I tape it on the back again. This is, I find, much easier than trying to tie my bow and keep all of it taut and stuff. So there's that. That's gonna go on. That might be my I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So he arrives tonight, and he'll be busy with my husband most of the time. They're colleagues first, and they write research papers together, so they're going to be busy and doing their thing most of the time. So that means I can do my thing, which right now is getting ready to fly back to the U.S. Monday night, because our daughter is there and has been there since the end of December, and she's getting ready to come back here. And with her service dog, there's a lot of veterinary paperwork to do for both the U.S. and Australian government. Actually, it's all ultimately for the Australian government, but it has to go through the U.S. government as well. So I am going back to help her navigate all of that. I think we're going to glue that. And so all of that is to say, once again, there will not be a Facebook Live next Wednesday because it will be Tuesday night in the U.S. and I won't be in my craft room. And so I might pop on to say hi, but I imagine I'm going to be busy doing other things. And Nikki, who is a very faithful watcher here, has kindly agreed to host me. So, yeah, we're hopefully going to have some fun. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. There's that one. And it's supposed to have a bow on it. So when I've done this wrapping thing with the twine, I just make a bow. It's too short. Grab a glue dot. And I stick the knot on the glue dot, and of course it's much bigger than that little knot. But I pinched it with my nails and got it squished down. And now I'm just gonna stick it on, and you really can't, unless you know my tricks, can't really tell that it's not tied on there. And sometimes if I think it's going to be really sticky, I'll take my embossing buddy and just sort of pounce it on there a little bit, and that de-sticks any exposed. I like the length of that bow on there. And I think it doesn't have any bling. I know that this person I'm sending it to, she likes sparkle. So I think I'm going to take some of these. They're retired now, unfortunately, but I'm just going to use some of these black rhinestones. Oh, don't do that. It moved on me. Right in, let's start with the ones that are up on dimensionals. Let's see if we do any more. What do you think? I think I need to get where I can see comments if there are any. I think maybe that's enough of the rhinestones. I think it would just become too much if I put it in those two. So I'm gonna call that quits. And I think that is my card for today. So let me put that there. And I'm also going to put that there for a moment so you can see this is what I was casing and this is what I did. So I kept the layout basically the same. I just changed up the colors and the stamp sets. And did that. So that's I hope that you guys will give it a try. I'll put a link to the Casing Tuesday Facebook group so you can get a sense of what people are doing. You can change it up however you want. You can rotate it. I thought about that briefly. You can change it up however you want. It's just an inspiration, and it would be fun to see some of you take a stab at it and post your creations on the Facebook group. And I really encourage you to flex your creativity and flex your mojo by trying out some of these challenges, these inspirations. I will see you back in 2 weeks, unless something happens and I can't get on, but I will keep you posted if that happens. But yeah, my plan is to be back here with you in 2 weeks, having made a quick dash back to Arizona and back to Melbourne. So, yeah, follow my links to get to my website, my Stampin' Up! Store, my blog. Send me messages, tell me requests of things you want to see me do on here. Sign up for my classes if you're in the Melbourne area. Love to work with you. Yeah, see you soon. Bye-bye.